YouTube, man, what the hell going on, good people? What the hell going on? I hope y'all. It's your boy Rex here. First of all, it's your boy Rex here, and goddamn, I hope y'all having a good day, blessed day. You know all that good old fashioned old shit. But anyway, today I want to react to my woman, my woman, my WWE woman. Every WWE Divas champion ranked from best to worst. I'm not gonna rank them best to worst, but the best one for me probably AJ Lee, of course. And then we got Bianca Belair. This video a year old, so we got Bianca Belair, we got Charlotte Flair. Even go further back. We got Trish Stratus, Michelle McCool, AJ. I would say AJ Lee. I think I said AJ Lee. She was the best one. I think she got the longest reigning champion. Don't she got like 400 days, some crap? Who else? Alicia Fox, Natalia, Maryse, Beth Phoenix. Who else? Ain't nobody else popping up in my head. What's his name? Kelly, Layla. I'm just thinking of women, some women champion from back in the day. I'm trying to think hard. I think that's pretty good, decent list just off the top of my brain. So hey, but anyway, we go hop to the video and tell me some of y'all favorite, women's champion. But anyways, hop to the video. Fuck, I forget
Coffee
Mickie
with
James.
the belt, but Jillian didn't even really
Jillian
have
Hall.
that, unless you can down a piping hot cup of Joe within 5 minutes. Hall bagged the strap on the October 12th, 2009 episode of Raw when she beats Mickie James. Unfortunately for her, Raw guest host Nancy O'Dell announced that she had made a trade with SmackDown, and that while Jillian would be staying on Raw, Melina was switching from the blue to the red brand.
Of course, all the men remember her. I wish she would have came back. Niggas just like her for the split. That's it. They just love her for her split, which is nice. But anyway,
very short impromptu
which is
match,
nice.
you can call it that, later, and Jillian, who wasn't really credible enough to hold the butterfly belt anyway, was a former champ. Number 16, Alicia Fox.
I didn't know Alicia Fox was a champion.
One-time Divas champion Alicia Fox won the title almost 2 years to the date after debuting on WWE TV as Edge and Vicky Guerrero's wedding planner. She was never a critical superstar, but Fox was athletic and put the work in, striving hard to improve. Alicia snagged it in a Fatal 4-Way at the aptly titled Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view in 2010, pinning Maryse in a match that also featured Gail Kim and then champion Eve Torres. The result made her the first and only African-American to win the Divas title.
That is crazy.
As for how she fared as champ, Fox managed to hold on to it for 56 days, the second shortest reign outside of Jillian Hall's.
Damn.
She defended the title a couple of times against Eve on both Raw and at Money in the Bank, but dropped it to Melina, fresh off a return from injury at SummerSlam. Alicia Fox versus Melina. Somewhere a young Cameron was watching and taking notes. Number 15, Brie Bella.
Cameron and Naomi.
Despite holding the title for a not too terrible 70 days, Brie Bella rarely defended her crown on television. She activated Brie mode, whatever the hell that is, and downed Eve to win it on the April 11th, 2011 episode.
People love Brie mode when she used to holler that shit. Brie mode. Niggas, they love that. Niggas love it. Come on, man. I like Brie mode
of Raw, but mainly defended it on house shows, with her televised outings usually being tags with twin sister Nikki or otherwise non-title affairs. Her first televised defense was a successful one against Kelly at Over the Limit, but she lost it in her second one against the girl so nice they named her twice on the June 20th Raw. Not a great champion, but she was in possession of it for over 2 months and put it
Who
on
was
the
better,
line
Nikki
on
or
the
Brie?
road. Number 14, Natalia. One thing about Natalia is that above many of the other...
Natalia has been putting in work, bro. I remember she wrestled, I think, twice. I think she wrestled twice. One time, had to fill in somebody. I don't know why they want to get her a run. Get her one run, see how she do. But she did have one run. But it probably was short as shit. I don't remember her with a title whatsoever.
The Divas champions.
It must have been like
she
2000.
had real pedigree and credibility. A member of the legendary Hart family, Natalia had already proven her in-ring chops in the 2.5 years that she had been on the main roster before bagging the gold, well, the sparkly silvery purple. The Queen of Hearts dethroned Michelle McCool in a handicap match at the 2010 Survivor Series, with Taker's gal teaming with McCool partner Layla, who was unofficially reigning as Divas champion alongside Michelle. Holding the title for 70 days, Natalia only defended it on TV a couple of times before dropping it to Torres at the 2011 Royal Rumble in a four-way also featuring McCool and Layla. Number 13, Kelly. After being transferred back to Raw in the 2011 supplemental draft, Kelly received a renewed push on the flagship show. She feuded with those dastardly Bellas while in pursuit of Brie's
can rarely tell
title,
them fucking different from each other.
Over the limits, but rebounding after being voted by fans to challenge again on the Power to the People episode of Raw on June 20th. The blonde bombshell, who was never one that was noted for her technical prowess between the ropes, did work hard to improve during her reign and was certainly popular. It helped that after beating Brie in their rematches, she moved into a lengthy program with the rock-solid Beth Phoenix. Kelly managed to overcome the Glamazon at both SummerSlam and Night of Champions, but her luck ran out at Hell in a Cell. She didn't manage to regain the title in subsequent rematches, but her lone 104-day run with it is nothing to sniff at. Number 12, Mickie James.
I don't know how I forget her.
Mickie James is a legend in the business and has had great reigns as WWE Women's Champion, as well as being the Women's Champ of other companies, but her One Divas title reign doesn't quite measure up. Nikki won the title from Maryse at 2009's Night of Champions pay-per-view. She defended it a handful of times on Raw against Beth Phoenix
she was a great wrestler,
as well as against Fox at Hell in a Cell. To show you how low priority the title was at this point, Nikki wasn't on the SummerSlam card, but rather tossed in the dark match Battle Royal, which she didn't even win. James would lose the title to Jillian Hall for 5 minutes on her way to SmackDown. Oh well, greener pastures and all that. Oh wait.
And they treated her bad with the trash bag shit. That shit was wrong as hell. I don't know who the fuck. I forgot who they said did that, but that shit was wrong. I'm quite sure that I forgot what they did. They made it up to her, but the trash bag shit was wrong. And she married to the manager of SmackDown. That's his name, Nick Aldis. Ain't she married to him? If I'm not mistaken.
Number 11, Kaitlyn.
Don't remember who this is.
A graduate from NXT Season 3, Kaitlyn showed just
how far she had come
in a couple of short years when she won the Divas Championship on the 20th anniversary episode of Raw on January 14th, 2013. It was a nice hometown win for the Houston, Texas native and started her reign on the right foot. She then feuded with the likes of Tamina Snuka and Layla and even defended her title on NXT, the new version, against Natalia and AJ Lee. Kaitlyn possessed a lot of positive qualities and developed into a solid worker in time. Emphasis on solid, by the way. You could grate cheese on those abs, couldn't you? She, along with AJ Lee, was one of the bright spots of what was, all things considered, a fairly weak and thus routinely overlooked division. She would lose the title.
The women's division used to always be overlooked though.
At Payback after holding it for a respectable 153 days. Number 10, Layla. The winner of the 2006 Diva Search competition was really growing into her own as a performer as one half of McCool when, just after the big split, she suffered a crushing knee injury that kept her out of action for almost a year. What a return she set herself up for, though, replacing the not medically cleared Beth Phoenix to challenge Nikki Bella for the Divas title at Extreme Rules 2012. The battling Brit won the title, pinning Brie Bella after an attempt at twin magic backfired. As was the norm during this era, defenses mainly took place on house shows.
I used to love when they used to do the twin magic. I used to love when they do that, because you really, if they throw their hair over their face, you really can't tell. You really couldn't tell who was who. That used to be fire.
Managed to edge past Beth Phoenix at No Way Out before being upended by Torres at Night of Champions. 140 days for the entertaining Layla as champion, but we rarely got to see her do anything with it when it counted. Number 9, Maryse. With 2 reigns coming in at 261 days, the lovely Maryse is third when it comes to longest reigning Divas champions.
She is? What?
Originally a model hired mainly to provide eye candy, Maryse was another who was forced to adapt and contribute in new ways after the company went PG. The second Divas champion, Maryse beat Michelle McCool to end the future Mrs. Undertaker's first reign on the December 26, 2008 episode of SmackDown, which emanated from Maryse's hometown of Montreal. Exuding charisma and a great natural heel, a bit like that Mike guy from the real world, Maryse may have not been the best around when it came to technique, but she did really well in this era of sub 5-minute scraps. In her first reign, she notched successful defenses against McCool, Kelly, and Gail Kim, and then did the honors for Mickie James at Night of Champions. She defeated Gail Kim in a tournament final to become champ for the second time on February 22nd, 2010, but only held it for 49 days before passing it on to Eve Torres. Number 8, Melina. The first two-time Divas champion, both of Melina's reigns were fairly short, but certainly memorable for different reasons. After beating Jillian Hall to win her first, she held the title for 84 days and put it on the line against Jillian and Alicia Fox.
Did she just leave, or what happened to her? Because she came back that one time, and I thought she was coming back again. Because she did excellent when she came back. When that was, 2022? 2021? One of them years she came back.
Had a longer reign had she not suffered a torn ACL, which resulted
in the
championship being vacated.
2022,
when she
2023.
returned many months later, she naturally targeted regaining the butterfly belt, which she did against Alicia Fox at SummerSlam 2010. Once again, she racked up defenses against Hall and Fox before she lost a Divas/Women's title unification lumberjill match with Michelle McCool at Night of Champions. An experienced and accomplished performer who knew what it took to carry a title with pride, Melina was
her entrance was crazy with the photographers and shit.
Number 7, Michelle McCool. In a bid to bring about parity with Raw, SmackDown General Manager Vickie Guerrero announced the Divas Championship for the Blue Brand's women to fight over. Michelle McCool and Natalia won a pair of Golden Dreams Star on a Pole matches in order to advance to the
Great American Bash,
where they fought for the right to become the inaugural Divas Champ. On the night, the All-American Diva would see off the Queen of Hearts, kicking off a 159-day reign. During that first reign, McCool defended the title against Maryse and Maria on TV before losing it to the sultry diva on the last SmackDown of the year. It wouldn't be the last time she held it, however, as she had another 63-day reign between September and November 2010 after unifying the Divas title with the Women's Championship during a time where she would occasionally have Layla defend the strap in her place. Lay Cool were great value, and their antics sometimes overshadowed McCool's matches, but the former volleyball standout was good value when the bell rang. Number 6, Charlotte Flair.
Of course.
It's mad to think, considering the near monopoly she's had on the Raw and SmackDown women's titles.
How many times she had that motherfucker? About 13, 14?
Been around on main roster TV since the Divas title was in existence. In fact, the Queen was the last person to hold the Divas title before it was replaced by the Women's Championship ahead of Flair's bout with Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 32. Charlotte won the Divas title from Nikki Bella at Night of Champions 2015 and had solid defenses on pay-per-view against Lynch, Paige, and both Bellas. In contrast with just a year or two earlier, the women's revolution was in full flow, and rather than being given a token 5 minutes here and there, these feuds and matches were given time and thought. Crazy concept, I know.
Good, about time shit.
Crucially produced when the lights were on bright after graduating from NXT. Her Divas title reign was a sign of what was to come later, as you could see Flair improving week by week while holding the belts. Number 5, Paige.
Yeah, she had a long run though.
Divas champion.
Paige? Damn. What's her name over there at AEW? Sonya?
For a combined 121 days, Paige was one of the first to really usher in a new era in women's wrestling for WWE. The anti-diva famously won the butterfly belt in her main roster debut
butterfly belt, why you calling it that?
Episode of Raw. She beat AJ Lee in a short, impromptu match to win it, getting a huge reaction in the process, and then played hot potato with the belt with AJ over the summer and autumn. When Paige won it the first time, she became the youngest Divas champion in history at just 21. As well as her bouts with Lee, Paige also defended the title against Brie Bella, Tamina Snuka, Alicia Fox, and a pre-glow-up Naomi. It was Paige's rivalry in big stage matches with AJ that really defined her time as champ, the pair of them doing much to bring respectability back to a division that for so long had been presented as a joke. Number 4, Nikki Bella.
I would say Nikki Bella definitely was on here.
To the list of women who weren't necessarily hired for their grappling nous, but who grew in confidence and ability as far as their in-ring work went, thanks in large part to her 2 reigns as Divas champion. Fierce Nikki held the title for a combined 307 days, first bagging it from Beth Phoenix in a Lumberjill match on the April 23rd, 2012 episode of Raw. She held onto it for a monumental 6 whole days before being surprised by Layla at Extreme Rules. Luckily for Nikki, her 301-day run with the glittery prize between November 2014 and September 2015.
So we're gonna say Nikki Bella was just a little better?
She must have felt the first time round. After besting AJ Lee to win it back, she defended the championship against AJ in rematches, as well as against Naomi and Paige before new girl on the block Charlotte knocked her block off. Nikki had a presence and a charisma, and really deserves more respect from fans who tend to write her off or deride her abilities because she has mainstream appeal and appeared on reality TV. Like
Nikki Bella was definitely putting in work. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do it. She was definitely putting in work. I think she got more, and she was wearing them J's. She definitely got more. I think they started hating her after she got with John Cena. They just looked at her like John Cena was giving her pushes and shit, cause John Cena was that guy. But I don't believe that. She worked for it. Her and Brie, not just her. It was her and Brie. They worked their ass off, and they got what they deserve.
Paige, she literally broke her neck for the business and should be recognized for her in-ring contributions.
They don't look
to
at that
WWE.
shit.
Number 3, Eve Torres. Like many of the time, Eve Torres
I kinda remember
herself
her
in WWE via the Diva Search, which she won in 2007. A former dancer and model, Eve started off as a backstage interviewer, but began training in developmental territory OVW ahead of debuting as a full-time wrestler in 2009. She won her first Divas title by beating Maryse on the April 12, 2010 episode of Monday Night Raw. Though she only held it for 69 nice days initially, Torres would go on to reign as champion a further 2 times, making her a record-tying 3-time Divas champion for a combined 261 days.
Nice
the one
work.
thing that stuck out about Eve, outside of her heelish character work later on, was just how much she improved inside the ring over the course of her WWE career. She may not have had too many classics in the era of the 5-minute match, but she had some decent ones against Layla, Beth Phoenix, and Kaitlyn. It's a shame she left when she did, really, because she was so close to fulfilling her full potential. Had she come along a few years later, you would have to think that she would be in the mix with Bianca, Banks, Becky, and company. As it is, she is one of the better female competitors of her era, and one of the best
She was in her the right era.
WWE had. Number 2, Beth Phoenix. A former 3-time WWE Women's Champion.
Definitely can't have a list without Beth Phoenix. I want damn who the fuck was number 1 then? It gotta be Lita or Trish Stratus. Gotta be Lita or Trish Stratus number 1.
Beth Phoenix may have only held the Divas title once, but she did so with the class and consistency fans expected of the Glamazon.
Exactly.
Phoenix won the title by beating Kelly at Hell in a Cell 2011, having previously failed to do so at SummerSlam and Night of Champions.
She was great.
Beth then defended the title against Eve Torres, Kelly and Tamina Snuka on pay-per-view, having some pretty damn fine showings against less experienced opposition. Her reign was interrupted after she received a gnarly-looking black eye from Alicia Fox, and her booking was, at best, inconsistent. At one point, she didn't defend the title on television for over 2 months.
Damn.
But when Phoenix had to get the job done, she got it done, and even if WWE didn't care about the Divas division at the time, the WWE Hall of
She
Famer
did the
made
best
sure
what
to
she
make
can.
the most of what she was given. In total, she was in possession of the Divas title for 204 days, eventually losing it
Who
to
the fuck
Nikki
is
Bella
number
in
1?
a Lumberjill match. Subsequent attempts to wrest the belt away from Layla, who took Phoenix's place when she wasn't medically able to compete in her rematch, proved unsuccessful, and the Glamazon was glamour gone from WWE before the end of the year. Number 1, AJ Lee.
Oh shit, yeah,
Though
AJ
perhaps
Lee.
best remembered for her various romantic storylines and stint as Raw general manager, it should not be forgotten that AJ Lee was a damn fine Divas champion.
She was.
The absolute best, actually. The 3-time champion held on to the purple and silver for a record 406 days combined.
That's crazy.
The longest of that trio of reigns was the first, which began when AJ beat Kaitlyn at Payback 2013. Over the ensuing 296 days, Lee defended the title on pay-per-view against Kaitlyn, Brie Bella, Natalia, Naomi,
she
and
beat
Cameron.
everybody.
Though this was the era of get in, get out, and don't get hurt as far as women's matches were concerned, AJ and Natalia had a cracking 15-minute encounter on the March 11th, 2014
Natalia's putting in work.
Events. Her and Paige played past the parcel with the title over the summer as Lee won it a further 2 times before finally relinquishing it for good to Nikki Bella.
I don't know why I thought it was Trister. I should have known AJ Lee. But yeah. Man, some of them women I remember, some of them I don't. But yeah, he was right. Back then, they were just having women just go out there. Just go out there and wrestle. You'll be alright, I guess. So that was crazy. I used to love watching women's matches. I would love watching them now. So I feel like AJ Lee definitely need to come back. It'll be great. You should come back for a year. It'll be fucking great seeing her in there with Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. Man, it'd be great. Michelle McCool too had one little nice run. Just one little nice run. That's all we want. Goddamn. Anyway, if I'm leaving out anything or they leaving out anybody else who you thought was a great champion, just let me know. I enjoyed this video, so like, comment, subscribe, share. Peace.